Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, getting close to another weekend. 888-900-3393. Oh, last day, too, of the big super full moon, blue moon thing.
Yeah.
So, today, today it's, I think, tied for its brightest. Yesterday was supposed to be, I think, the ultimate experience. But today, still really good. And then it starts getting, I guess it goes right back to where it was before. From 225,000 miles, I think, now, to 275,000 miles. Just like that. Boom. And it's gone.
I mean, I sat out. I didn't sit out. I went outside about right at 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was
beautiful, right?
Yeah, but it was up there. It wasn't like, look at me. It was, look at me.
I think when you see it on the horizon, it looks way bigger. But it is bigger.
I miss the horizon.
The brightness is amazing. It's really cool.
Yeah, all right, well.
But that's all by accident, of course. The moon just happened to spin and form in the exact proportions and right where we needed it to affect tides in a benign way, but not cause catastrophic problems for us here on the Earth. They're just complete accident.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
it's really, really interesting how that accident happened.
But you recall my trip to Colorado and Utah a few weeks ago?
Yeah.
I mean, we stayed on this ridge in Utah, and the moon was better there than it was last night when it was supposedly.
So it looked that big?
Supposedly.
You didn't do anything to that?
No, I didn't do anything to that.
Look at that.
It came up over the ridge line.
Oh, my gosh.
Those are trees that you see at the bottom there. And so
that looks like it's right next to where you guys were camping.
Pat, it was insane.
That's cool.
It was
That's
so
really cool.
So anyhow, I'm just saying.
If you're expecting that, it's going to be a letdown.
Right, it was.
So don't be expecting that if you go out and take a look.
And so we won't get 2 blue moons that are super moons until 2037.
Oh, wow.
Something like that.
Wow.
So hope you saw it.
That's why they call it once in a blue moon. Not because it's blue. Yep. It's just rare.
And that's disappointing.
Yeah.
I want to see a blue moon.
Me too.
And not just at a bar.
Me too. Mm-hmm. All right. Something that you don't have to wait every blue moon for, and that's Mitch McConnell freezing up at press conferences.
Eesh, boy.
This is, it's sad, but it is such a wake-up call, or should be, for us as Americans to say, okay, look, stop with the oligarchy, all right? Stop with the dementia-garchy. Stop with the geriocracy. The geriocracy? Is that what it was?
That works.
Geriocracy?
Yeah, I think
geriatrocracy?
Fossilocracy is easy to say.
Fossilocracy.
That's where we're at.
It's got to stop. I mean, okay, I guess we let it go the first time around, which we really didn't. We said he should resign. People chanted that to him, and then the excuse was, well, that's what they do. They heckle at that event. Okay, well, we need to stop doing it at some special event and demand that this guy step down. You cannot have the Senate Minority Leader having strokes continually, or whatever the case is with him. I don't know what it is, but it's bizarre. And this might have been worse than the first time.
Yeah.
Look at this.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
Yep. I can't do anything about it, but I heard it.
We're going to need a minute.
You're gonna why? Why? What's going on, hon? Hey, Puddin', what is the problem with the Senate Minority Leader right now? What is going on? Look at his handlers, man. They don't
know what to do.
There's no way to spin this. No way.
Okay.
Oh, man. I mean, I feel bad for him.
Oh, that's the problem. They weren't speaking up loud enough.
Yeah.
Please speak up.
That was a hearing issue.
Uh-huh.
It's just like the president when he didn't hear, hey, do you have a comment on Hawaii? No comment. He didn't hear. He just didn't hear it.
How ironic that the question that was asked that caused his CPU to malfunction was, do you have any thoughts on re-election in 2026? Bro,
oh, man.
He'd be lucky to make it to October. What are you talking about, 2026?
2026.
And the theory is what Kentucky's got a
Democrat.
governor right now, right?
I don't care.
Well,
I don't care.
I don't either.
We need
Bro.
somebody who can do the job, somebody who's qualified, somebody who's not compromised like this.
And I'm absolutely with you. I'm saying that's the justification the Republican Party is allowing this fossil to stay in office because they're hoping a Republican can appoint a replacement in January.
No. We should not be Democrats on this shit. They don't give a rat's anus that John Fetterman is probably as bad, if not worse, than this. They don't care. They just tell him how to vote, and he does. So as long as they need to use him, they will. And if the Republicans try the same thing,
I mean, this is Thad Cochran.
That's unacceptable.
This is Thad Cochran. Republicans pulled this too.
So bad.
It's worse now because it's actually the leader of the Republicans in the Senate.
Yeah.
It's what a joke. We are this country. But then they continued the press conference.
Yeah. Here's how it wrapped up.
Senator Daniel Cameron, do you have a comment on Daniel Cameron?
For governor.
Well, I think the governor's race is going to be very close.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
Far and away the best candidate we could have nominated.
Okay, this is just elder abuse now.
Sure is.
It's just elder abuse.
The state has become increasingly Republican, back the governor's down the Democrat left. Frankly. So I'm optimistic that Daniel will be our next governor.
Okay, I think we can do one more.
What, are you crazy?
Really?
What are you doing? Get him out of there.
Support him as a nominee.
Gotta talk about
It's a question
Trump.
about Trump.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment about the presidential race either on the Republican.
Get him out of there and get him to a doctor.
Okay, thank you all.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
you.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
thank you.
Thank you for, I don't know, whatever bizarre situation you've got going behind the scenes where you're just manipulating this man. You're just abusing this man who should obviously be getting medical treatment right now. Should not be in the U.S. Senate. God, I just can't. But I mean, what are they saying about this? Yeah, he just can't hear. I mean, is that the excuse they're using?
I don't know, man. That's what they used in that instance. It's embarrassing. It's depressing. It's pathetic. It's every word you can think of to describe.
It's abusive. Usually that word carries some weight, but not in this case because Democrats haven't done it, and so Republicans aren't going to do it either. They're not going to do anything about it. If it means that there's a chance they might lose that seat, they'll just continue with him and tell him what to do. I just can't. It's inhumane. It's un-American, and it really needs to stop. But it doesn't look like it's going to anytime soon.
Now, let's just say the Senate was in control of Republicans, and Mitch McConnell, that seat was the reason. Then all of a sudden, Democrats would be like, "Yeah, get him out of there." Then they would have that take.
Yeah, they would.
But as it stands now, there's no skin off their nose. They're like, "Yeah, whatever." Yeah, I mean, we got our own decrepits in here too.
All right.
We don't want you.
It's pretty hard for them to be calling for his dismissal when they have 3 or 4 people.
But since it doesn't affect the balance of power,
yeah, that's fine.
They're letting it go.
They don't care. Whatever.
And that's what it's all about in Washington anyway.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Jeez, I mean, I never would have believed a few years ago. We go down this road all the time, but it's so applicable every day. I wouldn't have believed this possible. But everything changed after 2016, really, when we realized that, okay, Republicans do a lot of the same stuff Democrats when push comes to shove. And it's disappointing. And I didn't think it would happen. But here we've got another example of it where we're just ignoring the obvious. This guy can't be in office right now. We're just ignoring it and letting him stay and manipulating him. It's
heartbreaking as a nation to see this.
It's heartbreaking and it's treasonous. If you don't care more about the country, then you shouldn't be doing whatever it is you're doing. Speaking of people who are too old to be in any office whatsoever, Joe Biden spoke yesterday. It's great that we always have him, isn't it? It's great.
Every day.
I mean, yeah, every once in a while, every couple of weeks now, we're going to have a freeze incident with Mitch McConnell. And, of course, Dianne Feinstein doesn't know where she is. And John Fetterman has no clue. Can't talk, can't speak, doesn't know what's going on. Don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. But we also have the President of the United States to deal with every single day. He was talking about the federal response to natural disasters yesterday.
I didn't know anything like that, but lightning struck my house. We had to be out of that house for about 7 months. It was repaired because so much damage was done to the house, and half the house almost collapsed.
Again,
we made sure that you didn't know what clip was coming up there because we just wanted sure on the fly response to that one.
Oh my gosh,
he cannot help himself.
He can't. He got all kinds of negative feedback from that. He got blowback like crazy from that, including from people in Hawaii. Had the famous sign, "Are you this tone deaf? Do you not watch anything but MSNBC and CNN? Are you not influenced by any kind of feedback whatsoever?"
He's not real. He just isn't a real human being.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the same human responses and same reactions to anything that you and I and everybody listening to this show has.
You would think that all the negativity that came after him using his own stories for these people who have lost everything. They didn't just about or almost lose it. They did lose it, including loved ones, people they care about.
Burned alive.
Any normal human being would take that information and say, yeah, I can't bring that into it again. And he did it anyway. I mean, he's either completely insulated or he's so far gone that he can't make a decision like, you know what, I shouldn't have told that story and I'm not going to tell it anymore.
Okay, but I think that's accurate. I think you just had two accurate observations. That he's too far gone and that he's completely insulated. But I think there's a third factor that you have to put in the cake here, the Joe Biden cake, and it's he's just a terrible person. And so that bubbles up because there's no filter when you're that far gone.
Yeah.
So as heinous of a person he is now on display 24/7 instead of, kept under wraps half the time. Because he has no filter now that he's dementia riddled. And yes, he is insulated by people that won't set him straight. And even if they do, would it stick? No, he'd go out the next day and say it anyway because he can't remember the conversation he just had with the staffer.
Everybody's too comfortable with their own situation, including Dr. Jill, who likes where she is. And so she's not going to mention this. She's not going to talk about it. She's not going to do anything about it. She knows she knows better than anybody else on this planet how bad he is right now. She sees it all the time. But she loves her position, obviously, and continues to abuse him by forcing him into these situations, or at least not saying, look, Joe, it's time now. You know what? Let's just go to Delaware and we'll get out of politics and we'll just live out the rest of our lives, relaxed in a nice setting that we love. That's why we spent all our time there. Well, that and it protects us from having people wonder who's coming in and out of our house, like the dementia specialist. Jeez,
I swear there is some brain experts that go to the house in Delaware.
Oh, for sure. There's no doubt in my mind. That's one of the reasons he's there all the time.
And Pat, I'm not good with history, but didn't this happen to America before?
Yep,
Woodrow
sure did.
Wilson.
Yeah. Yes, he was almost comatose after his stroke. He was completely incapacitated for the last 2 years of his presidency, and his wife ran things. Sound familiar? Kind of. Yeah. Although I think there's a good deal of Obama influence there too.
Oh, yes,
he's got his people already there, so they're just doing his bidding now. He was asked about House Republicans who want to investigate the federal response to the Maui fires.
What is your reaction to House Republicans who say that they're urging an investigation into the federal response in Maui?
Well, I welcome a federal response in Maui. I think that they should go out and talk to every elected official, from the mayors to the governors to the United States senators to the congresspersons. I welcome them. Once they go out and see it, then I'm sure they'll provide the money.
Okay, so we got two issues with that clip. So the first thing he says is, I welcome a federal response.
Yeah.
Well, I think Hawaii does too, moron.
Yep.
So that's issue number one.
He had no idea.
He doesn't even know what
was meant.
Day of the week it is. He doesn't know what the question was. Nope. But you catch the thing at the end there. He tried to blame Republicans for holding back money.
Yes.
And he's like, well, I think that if they get out there, they'll send money. We're having to decipher a lot of this on the fly just because he's incoherent.
Mm-hmm.
But have you seen that? You're going to love this, bro. Democrats are trying to tie to FEMA relief bills. They're trying to tie money to Ukraine.
My gosh.
Are you?
Oh, my gosh.
Are you for real?
Wow.
I mean, the anger. How does this nation?
They're so despicable.
They are. That's the word. They're evil.
Yeah, yes.
Evil, despicable.
Yes.
SOBs.
At the end of the press conference, he was asked if Mitch McConnell should run for re-election, considering, he's got some fairly apparent health issues going on right now.
And you're asking this guy?
Yeah.
Should run for re-election.
Look at this.
Are you running? Okay, all right.
What the hell?
Bye-bye.
He looks at Mayorkas?
Yeah.
Are you running? Nothing makes sense. Nope, nothing makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Hold on. Turn the sound down, Chris, on the TV feed. Can you play that last clip, just the one, the other Joe Biden clip? Speaking of Mayorkas, can we just look at him? Just press play on the video. Just Mayorkas, like the smile on his face. The one before that, the other clip, like the entire press conference. Mayorkas I just can't stand his face. He's all smirky and
smarmy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they all are. They all are.
The entire press conference, he just stood there looking like a snake.
Then, of course, we have him. We got this moment with him where reporters are trying to get his attention.
Oh, no.
Especially Peter Doocy. And so he continually tries to get his attention by calling, Mr. President, Mr. President. Watch his reaction. There isn't any.
Oh, no.
He can't react.
Mr. President. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Mr. President. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Mr. President.
Everyone needs to still gotta keep moving, guys. Bill's gotta keep moving, sir. Gotta keep moving, sir.
Mr. President.
Thank you so much.
How's the campaign going?
Thank you.
Heaven help us. There's also this interesting.
The idea that we're sitting here, I never thought that I'd be president, let alone be president, and having a discussion on why books are being banned.
Remember this? We played this the other day.
And
was it just yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he never thought that he'd be president, let alone be president and having a discussion on why books are being banned in America.
Uh-huh.
I will say this. I never thought he'd be president either. So at least we agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
There's one point of just friendly banter between us. Yes. Thank you, Mr. President. I never thought so either. But then you get to the fact that there's so much book banning going on that he keeps mentioning. Not allowing 5 and 6 year olds access to learning every single sexual position, perversion, and preference known to mankind. Why would we want to limit our 5-year-olds in any learning endeavor? But especially when you're talking about sex. Why are you let them learn it? What is the matter with you Republicans in Florida? Why? It's incredible. It's incredible.
And of course, they always do what they accuse the other side of doing.
Yes, they do.
Do you not recall a few years ago that Democrats were trying to get To Kill a Mockingbird banned from schools?
That's right. Right.
Who's
Dr.
banning
Seuss.
books?
Remember?
And Dr. Seuss?
Too. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. And this is what he's overseeing as president. He can't believe it. He can't believe it.
I can't.
I mean, here's a guy who's been an active participant in overseeing the end of actual science and biology. He's been an active participant in the fanatical effort to kill babies. He is striving hard to destroy free speech, to destroy the Second Amendment, our sovereign borders, pronouns, women's sports, affordable energy, including gasoline, which is up 71% still from 3 years ago. He's been instrumental in eliminating affordable food. And maybe worst of all, he is the all-time leader in the evil war to eliminate truth itself. I mean, you can't even make the truth stick anymore. They will never. They don't talk about truth. They continue lies that they've been called out on, even by their own people. In the Washington Post, the New York Times, CNN, over and over and over, the press is saying, look, this is just not true. And we've tried to tell him before, but he just keeps saying it. He doesn't care about truth at all. Really, I think this is the first time I've ever seen somebody who disregards the truth to this extent. Have we ever seen it before? I mean, at least with Obama, if he got called out on it, he maybe stopped saying it at every stop, at every single speech he did. But for Joe Biden, he doesn't care. It emboldens him, in fact. Once you start talking about it, and disproving it, he'll keep doing it just to shove it in your face. Look, I don't care about what's true and what's not. I don't care.
I mean, this is going to sound cynical, but the Marxists that have the wheel of power right now in the United States, they don't care what you think.
They don't.
It's almost like they're so emboldened they know the outcome of elections before they happen. It's like they don't have to win you over come November. They know how things are going to happen. So why do I care what you think? They don't even care what the people in Congress think. Their colleagues across the aisle. They don't care.
They don't.
It's almost like they're too confident in where things are going.
Well, that's my hope. That's my hope, that they're too confident and that's going to trip them up. Because they do have a really good machine right now and it's working for them. And, when you've got so much control of the media, I love how leftists will whine about the right owning the media. That is so preposterous.
I know, man.
And the only thing they can point to is Fox News. Okay.
I got news for you.
That's not even a great example anymore. But okay, I'll give you Fox News. You've got everything else.
Everything.
Except for talk radio. Talk radio, Fox News. Period.
You've got algorithms on search engines.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, right. AI. They've already taken over AI. They've got the education system, which is incredibly important. They've got the critical control of our youth. So they have that. They have all TV and movies, streaming, print. If you still see the ancient print newspapers, if they still come to your door, you know what we're talking about.
Honestly, when's the
Always
last time
slanted.
you've seen a newspaper sitting in one of your neighbor's driveways?
Oh, man, it's been so long. I don't even see those local things.
Yeah.
Because I think they got tired of people going directly to the garbage with them. From the driveway to the garbage immediately.
I'm already out here at the street side. Might as well just drop it in the can out here. And you mentioned how AI, I know this isn't shocking news, because this is something this administration has been talking about for the last year or so, how they want to rein in AI and these chat GPTs. But anyway, they did researchers did a study, and they said that chat GPT, are you sitting down, has, quote, a significant liberal bias,
oh, no.
end quote. Who could have seen that
Surprise!
coming? Because remember, early on, it was telling us the truth about climate change.
Yeah.
And how it's not provable. All this. Anyway,
They changed that,
They
didn't
make
they?
sure to fix that. And you mentioned one of the things that the Biden administration goes after is fossil fuels. And I sent this in because I just love this chart that Alex Epstein posted on Twitter yesterday along the same lines there. Look at what has happened in China and India over the years. He goes on. The whole point of his post was that your life expectancy goes up when you have a cheap energy source. Look at China and India. In the years that they have increased their fossil fuel usage, their life expectancy has gone up. So stop saying we're killing the planet. This is shortening life expectancies when we use these dirty fuels. Bullcrap. Look at this. It should be just the opposite if you believe a leftist.
Fossil fuels, if you want to call them that, I don't like that term because they're not fossil fuels as far as I'm concerned. And we're going to talk to somebody tomorrow, right? That we have the oil guy in from the ICR Institute.
Oh, yes.
So that should be fun. He's going to tell us his take on where oil comes from and are we getting close to peak oil again? For the last time again. But it revolutionized the world. Capitalism and cheap energy completely revolutionized this planet. And we've talked about it before. We went from 90% poverty rate on this earth to about 14%. So that seems to be progress. And yet they demonize it continually. They don't like fossil fuels, obviously, oil and gas. They really don't like capitalism. And they don't because it hinders their ultimate plan of complete control. If they can't control us, it really, really irritates them.
Wait, their ultimate plan isn't to save the planet for future generations that want to live in a world with clean air and clean water?
Yeah, call me, skeptical, but I'm going to say no. That's not what that's not their goal.
That's what they're saying.
And KJP's press conference yesterday.
Oh, no.
She was asked about Biden's mental and physical health. I don't think she likes being asked.
There's a new book coming, The Last Politician Inside Joe Biden's White House and the Struggle for America's Future.
So pause this for a second here. What this British guy is saying that there's a book coming out, and in it there's an excerpt that talks about how, it's hard to hear, that apparently Joe has told staffers, man, I'm tired and stuff. And so what this guy is saying is that why events lately that he's been doing, his day is over at 10 a.m.? And so that's in case you can't understand what he's saying.
Yeah.
Has told aides in private that he felt tired, and that explains why there are so few events before 10 a.m. So two questions. Is this why we're seeing brunch lids in recent weeks?
Brunch lids.
And has the president admitted to you?
Wait, say that last part?
So is that why we had a breakfast lid this morning? I mean, the book is...
What?
There was the breakfast lid came to the press for the first time, I think. We've had some brunch lids in recent weeks as well. So my question is that a reflection...
Pause it for a second. If you're not familiar with that term, it just means they put a lid on the day.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done for the day at 9 or 10 or what. We've seen 9:05 before. So right after lunch, they're done. Yeah. Because he's not capable of doing things that late in the day.
I like that term he came up with, though, brunch lid.
Yeah, the brunch lid. The brunch lid doesn't happen until about 2:30, somewhere there. So this is troubling to her, of course. She doesn't like this stuff.
Because of this excerpt?
Not because of the excerpt. The book is suggesting the president tells aides he's tired.
But that's in the excerpt, right?
Yeah, and that's why there have been
Here
so
we go.
few
Pause it
public
for a second.
events.
I've not seen this yet, but let me guess. She is going to go into a routine about how you can't even keep up with this guy.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's see.
Let's go.
I mean, that's a ridiculous assumption to make.
Ridiculous.
I mean, that's a ridiculous assumption to make.
We've all seen how ridiculous.
Oh, wow, that was it.
That's it.
She moved on.
Oh, okay. So we didn't get to.
No,
I can't even keep up with him.
No, we're gonna get to that response.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it does exist.
It does exist.
So glad.
Hold on. I think we have time before we go to the break here.
Okay.
I think we should turn this into like a new thing. Just words that she mispronounces every day. Mm-hmm. Here she's trying to say hypotheticals.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Be okay with
that is something I'm not going to get into hypotheticals.
Hypotheticals.
Hypotheticals?
Hypotheticals.
I'm not going to get into those either. I don't be okay with
That is something, I'm not going to get into hypotheticals.
Theoreticals? I think it's a cross between hypothetical and theoretical, right?
She's good.
Hypotheticals.
You got to love the equity.
Oh, and I do.
In the Biden administration.
And I do.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
First batch of tweets on the day from Revoc. Biden has no emotions. He's a textbook narcissist. Dalton Bell, age limits, time for cognitive tests in D.C. Can anybody deny it? There has to be, because this has gone too far for too long. And they've shown us, okay, you guys can't do this the right way. You can't get these people out of office when they get to this point. So we're going to have to make some rules then, okay? Because you can't abide by things right now. You can't. There's no common sense dictating your actions. So we're going to have to go a different way. I think that's where we are right now. There needs to be a cognitive test.
You would think that we would hold our politicians to a higher standard.
Mm-hmm. No.
No.
But no, we do not.
No.
From Anthony Osh, Biden's house almost collapsed, only being held up by all of those classified documents. So that's what they were for, obviously.
Ah, I see.
So that's not a problem. Mandalorian Patriot, Mitch has been out of his shell too long.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Also, Clemson Mimi, one more thing. No honest or decent person wants to get into politics because, especially if you're conservative, your opponents will try to destroy your life if you don't play their games. It's infuriating. Mm-hmm. And the deplorable Mr. Jagwagon McConnell's freeze-ups will be blamed on climate change.
Oh, yeah. Oh, when's that happen?
Probably very soon. Very, very soon. But it's happened twice. Let's go back to the first time it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the first occurrence of Mitch McConnell just freezing up in the middle of a press conference.
Bipartisan cooperation and a string of
oh boy. Hello? Uh-oh. Yep. Oof. That's sad.
Okay, Mitch.
Hey, Mitch.
Do
you have anything else to say?
Do you want to say anything else to the press?
Or what? Nope, and I'm going to wander off now. Okay.
Let's go back to you.
Go ahead, John.
Wow. Interesting. You know, the reaction of the people around him is fascinating. It's like not a surprise to them. They know this goes on, and that, I'm sure, was not the first time that happened.
That is a good point.
It's not the first time, and it's certainly not the last, because it happened again yesterday. Watch this. It goes a little something like this.
About what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
Hello? Wow.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
He didn't say it loud enough.
And he heard that, and still nothing.
All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute.
Are you? Why? Why, Puddin'? What's going on? Did he forget his... Yeah, look at him holding onto the podium for dear life. Two people who are his advisors, obviously, handlers, aides, whatever. Try to deal with it.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
Are you serious?
Elder abuse. But you're right. Going back to the one that happened in the rotunda there.
Happened before.
Yeah, it's just the first time it happened in front of a camera.
Right.
And now they're like, oh, crap.
First we know of it, but this has been going on. So he's got some condition. They know about it. They're not freaked out about it because it happens all the time, probably. Or at least frequently enough that they know there's a series of things that they do to get him restarted.
What was that report about the doctor that delivered all of those drugs?
Yeah, remember that?
Oh.
What was that, a couple of years ago now?
Yeah.
when he mentioned that he's the pharmacist for Congress. And so a lot of times he delivers or he has people deliver, but many times he's delivered Alzheimer's drugs. Really?
Yeah.
To whom? That's interesting. And of course, we don't know to whom because we don't have that kind of transparency in our republic. So yeah, they just keep that from us. Don't worry about it. They're on it. The elites are on it. They'll handle it. You little people don't have to worry about it. Your cute little heads. Don't worry about it. Okay? Wow. Man, it's amazing. Chris just brought me the signs of a stroke.
Okay.
Sudden numbness or weakness in the face, arm, or leg, especially on one side of the body. Sudden confusion. Trouble speaking or difficulty understanding speech. Sudden trouble seeing in one or both eyes. Sudden trouble walking, dizziness, loss of balance, or lack of coordination. He seems to fit most of those.
Are these symptoms of a stroke victim or an alcoholic? What do we do? Did you print up the right ones? Okay. Anyway, that's
there you go.
I mean, that's your U.S. Congress at work. Hard at work for the people.
Yep. And they don't mind. They don't mind that this is going on right in front of their eyes. And certainly it's happened multiple times behind the scenes. I don't know how many times Mitch McConnell has this freeze episode, but it's more than 2. I can guarantee you that. It's definitely more than 2. It's 2 that we've seen.
Exactly.
And that should shut everything down right there. But they just keep going. They just keep plugging along. Because what are we going to do? What are we going to do about it? We can't show up at the Capitol because that would be an insurrection, right? Can't do that. Which is why, I mean, that's what makes January 6th so horrendous, is that it has, it's cast a pall on the right now because we don't act that way. And then we did. And so now they forever have that.
Yes, Antifa did.
Yep.
Yes, undercover federal agents did. You're right.
But her main job right now, I guess, KJP, her main job is defending the president's mental and physical health. Jake Tapper asked her, is he maybe, just maybe, too old to be president?
But how it is hard for us to keep up with this president.
Okay, there it is.
Who is constantly working every day to get things done and making sure that we are delivering for the American people.
It's hard to keep up with him if you don't have legs. Then, yes, I can see if you're pulling your torso around like Bronco Nagurski.
Right. Well, even then.
Just with your upper torso, it might be. But even then, you're going to beat him to the finish line.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with this. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, that's agonizing. Let's see the rest of this.
And that's what, and I think that's what matters. I get it. I get what you're asking me.
No, you don't.
But the record matters too, Jake.
Yeah, the record does matter. Yes.
Not your strongest closing argument.
No, it sure isn't. God, he's got a record that is terrible.
Unless you're trying to destroy the country.
Yes.
Then it's flawless.
Yes.
And it's flawless.
There is not a single move he's made to save it. So, yeah, his destruction record is really, really good. I'll give him an A+ in that. An A++. I mean, jeez. It is so amazing what is happening.
It hurts.
Yeah, it does. It physically hurts. But there are so many things wrong, and they keep referring to this record of his that is supposed to be glowing and wonderful. And look what he's done, and how do you not appreciate it?
Well, in that same interview that KJP was doing with Jake Tapper, she had an example of how impressive he is. And you might want to. It's been, how long has it been since what she references here? In other words, they have like this one moment in time where they were all pleasantly surprised that he didn't look like he was brain dead. And they keep bringing it up ever since. It's been months. Anyway, this is her example for us.
Back when we were marking the 1 year anniversary, right, of the war in Ukraine, the unprovoked war by Russia, what did the president do?
What did he do?
He went to Kyiv.
Oh my gosh!
And he was there with the alarms
wow.
blaring in the back.
Wow!
And people were so impressed that he was able to be there and look strong and represent the American people in Kyiv in a war zone. Country.
Yeah.
And that's what you saw.
That's what you saw.
He's not able to walk.
No, but you're talking about his strength, right? You're talking about how he's looking right now.
I think like the average American male only lives to be 77 or something.
But here's the thing, Jake. People saw him and were impressed that he was able to do that.
No, nobody was impressed. Nobody was impressed.
The American people.
Could he get on a plane and fly there? Yes.
Watch him, right?
Yeah, that's not that hard.
And
they are watching him. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Who are concerned.
Thank you. There's the point you have to make. We are watching him, and this is why we feel the way we do.
Watch him.
I mean, we've listed these failures so many times. Here's his record. Okay, open borders, higher taxes. The Green New Deal is being jammed down our throats. There's socialized medicine. There's socialized higher education. He has forgiven debt despite the fact that the U.S. Supreme Court said you can't do this. Did it anyway with many, 800,000 people? Abortion anytime during a pregnancy. We're talking about reparations, and it's happening all the time on a local level, and he hasn't squashed any of that talk. In fact, he fans the flames of reparations. He wants to pack the Supreme Court. They want to confiscate our guns. They want to silence anybody who has a different opinion or policy position than them. The border is an absolute disaster, and everybody knows it. There are millions of illegal crossings. There are drugs pouring into our country. There's deaths by the hundreds as people try to cross into a desert area where it's 110 degrees. It's increased crime. It's increased the potential of terrorism. We've got ISIS people helping people cross illegally, and we know about it. We've got inflation that still isn't at the level of Donald Trump. Food prices are sky high. The gas prices are still 71% higher than they were when he took office. The debt has increased. He keeps saying he has reduced the debt. No, you've increased it by almost $6 trillion in 2 years. We're still having COVID jammed down our throats. He wants to get us off of oil long before we're ready. Long before there's any alternative to oil and gas. He lies every day. They beat us to death with this climate change bullcrap. What used to be, well, don't confuse weather with the climate, to confusing the climate with weather every single time some weather event happens. Every time. Without fail. I mean, he botched the Afghan withdrawal, which we've talked about many, many times. It's painful to watch this and then be told, look at his record. Yeah, we are, and that's why we're so concerned. We have looked at his record.
What did KJP just get done telling us? She said, watch him.
Watch him.
Watch him. Okay, well,
let's watch him. Okay.
Watch me.
Watch me.
If you think I don't have the energy level or the mental acuity. The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to.
Anyway.
From Charlotte. Another line going from in Florida down to Tampa of Putin's kleptocracy. Yeah.
He's got a stuttering problem, that's all.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, what is that word?
The idea that...
yeah. Hello.
Los Angeles and what am I doing here? For two reasons. One, we haven't been able to communicate it in a way that is, let me say another way. But the nature, not a solid meeting with they make a very good point. Here's the deal.
Here it is.
Here's what drives the driver.
Here's what drives the driver
states
in the states
that are affected.
Right.
Here's what you can do. The drivers.
The drivers.
So here's my question.
So we watched him.
Did you watch him?
I watched him.
You did?
I did.
And what's your takeaway?
I'm going to say he's not at optimal performance levels. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say he's suboptimal.
Huh.
Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. I think...
I mean, that's your
take.
That's your conclusion.
I know I'm going way out on a limb, and it's silly, and it's probably QAnon inspired. But based on what I just watched him do, I'm not impressed. I'm not.
It almost feels like America as a nation is Joe Biden's brain. Like we are about as healthy as that man's brain right now as a nation. And it's terrifying.
Yeah, it really is.
So, do you think...
It really is.
A year from now, do you think that the two nominees getting ready for the big November showdown, who do you think they're going to be, Pat?
I think the same as I've always thought. I think it's him and Trump. Yeah. Yep. We'll see. But that's what I think.
This is going to be the worst year in our nation's history. Save for 4 years in the 1860s.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm glad you made that qualifier.
I don't know, man. It feels like that's what we're on the cusp of, does it not?
It does. Yeah, it does.
2024 is going to be
It's going to be a rough ride.
It's going to be a mess.
But there are things you can do to make certain aspects of your life better, like getting rid of odors that you don't enjoy in your home. You can do that. That's possible. And I can tell you how. Okay. It's the Eden Pure Thunderstorm. You get 3 of these air purifiers, and they start working within seconds. All you do is pull the plug out. It just pops right out like that. You plug it in, you turn it on, and it goes. And it starts sending out immediately O3 molecules that eat up all of these odors. Litter box, cigarette smoke, trash cans, food odors. They're fantastic. Plus, bacteria and viruses are killed as well. And during this week, we've got a great deal for you. You can save $200 on 3 thunderstorms for whole home protection. That's 3 units under $200. Just go to EdenPureDeals.com, enter the promo code PAT. That's EdenPureDeals.com, discount code PAT. Plus, shipping is free. Do yourself a favor and get that done.
Very cool.
Awesome.
So we're going to have to revisit a KJP clip that we had yesterday. There was a lot more to it.
Did we miss some stuff?
Yeah, and we had a couple of Pat heads reach out and made some great points.
All right.
And, wow, she sucks in every way imaginable, just like her boss.
Oh, wow. That was a bold statement, Keith. You willing to stand by that? I mean, do you have any evidence of what you say?
Oh, plenty. Plenty.
All right.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
A few tweets here to share from Pedo L. Peters. Not only do we need a cognitive test in Washington, we also need lie detectors.
Like you're trying to shut the country down? Wow.
Rowdy introvert, you could require cognitive tests for members of Congress and the Senate, but since it would be a new requirement, most members would be grandfathered in without having to take the test.
Wow.
That's probably true. Let's see. Dr. Free Range Prisoner. What Mitch is suffering from looks more like transient ischemic attack, or TIA. Essentially, mini strokes that have an accumulative effect.
Well, he's a doctor. Dr. Free Range Prisoner.
Yep. Red State Comedy. Mitch apparently got the real mRNA vaccine and not the saline shot like everyone else in Washington. Oh, man. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. We have another story, too, of a died suddenly. Jeez, just so sad. 33-year-old fitness influencer, Larissa Borges, tragically died on Monday after suffering a double cardiac arrest due to unknown causes. 33 and a fitness person. Wow. Just really sad. Now they want to pin this on alcohol or some nonsense, but fit 33-year-olds don't have double heart attacks for no reason. It's usually brought on by something.
Climate change.
Okay. For instance, climate change. Right? It's
just stating the obvious.
It's a warmer planet, and
heart works harder.
That's right. That's right.
Man, that just
so agonizing, and you won't even look into it. Look into it. I mean, just don't even tell us. Just look into it, and then decide. But be honest after your investigation, because I'm pretty sure what the outcome would be is that you would have to stop distributing this stinking virus. They'll never do that, though. They don't want to know, because that's going to bring on way too many lawsuits.
Yeah.
And even though they've already given them protection, Big Pharma, the Congress already gave them protection from that, but there would be such an outcry that it'd be overwhelming. And they don't want to deal with it. They just don't want to deal with it. Instead, they're just going to keep pumping out new vaccines. So get ready for that. Mid-September is what we were told for the next one.
Our government is so good at anticipating perils coming down the pike.
Yeah, they talk about them a lot of times before they even happen.
That's amazing.
In incredible detail.
That's amazing. Right?
Yeah. They're very perceptive.
Yeah.
So
that's the word, perceptive.
Yeah.
Did you want to revisit this KJP clip from yesterday? Because we had some pat heads notice a couple of things.
Okay.
In one of the clips.
What'd they notice?
So you got the ISIS guy smuggling in people into America.
Yeah, but they were all over that. She told us they were all over.
Oh, so so that's fixed. Well,
yeah, that's fixed.
Joey Irish 4 tweeted at us. We went on a KJP doesn't know English tangent. Well, we missed the response where she used the word fastly instead of quickly, and so here we go. Get ready for this.
Thank you, Karine. How is it possible that an ISIS sympathizer is sneaking people into this country?
Good question.
So just that folks, I'm assuming you're speaking to the CNN story.
Why is this important to point out?
So I just want to make sure that folks who are watching understand the question. So I just
Do
want
you
to
get
be
paid
really
for
clear
every time
here.
you mention it?
So the intelligence alerted us to a human smuggling network. We moved fast and successfully to disrupt it. So just want to be very clear that. And we are
you disrupted it. Are you saying that you know where all of the
when you
people
take her
this
off her
ISIS
notes, she gets
sympathizers snuck into the country are?
If I can answer the question, I'm sure I'll touch on everything that you want to ask.
I'm sure you won't, because you never do.
Intelligence alerted us of this human smuggling network. We believe, and we move fastly, and we successfully disrupted it. So let's be very clear about that. And we are grateful. We are very grateful to the law
pause it there. Pause it there,
Okay,
Joe.
she moved fastly. What do you want?
Fastly, yeah.
What do you want?
But seriously, you take her off her notes, that's when she snaps inside, and she gives you the attitude.
Right.
It's like, look, I got to get back to my bullet points, Peter. And then the other one, now this one I caught, and I forgot to mention it yesterday, was from MYB 1773. Check this out. She admits that the Biden administration partakes in racial profiling. Listen to the rest of this answer.
Work and their vigilance on this. Now, to your other part of the question, smugglers have been detained overseas, including one linked to the foreign terrorist organization. No sign. There's no sign that anyone moved by the smuggling network has terrorism connections. So, I want to be clear there as well. And what we were able to do as precaution, people brought here by smuggling network are being subject to extra vetting and are all in removal proceeding. And in addition to that, In addition to that, anyone coming across the border outside of the network who matches the profile of those in the smuggling network is subject to extra vetting, detained, and
if you match a profile
proceedings
of those involved in the smuggling network, we're going to check.
What profile is that?
I'd like to hear a follow-up question.
How are they being profiled?
Huh.
What kind of racist BS is that? Wow. What kind of fear-mongering is going on in this administration where they start to profile people based on what? Based on their on their skin color? On their religious background?
Better not be.
Oh, they
better not
best
be.
Not. They'd best not do it.
Better not be.
How great that is. Get caught up in their own stupidity. That's great. I love it. I love it. You got to love it. She's the worst. She has no idea the kinds of things she's saying up there. And she doesn't know words, and she doesn't know phrases, and she can barely read. No wonder she got the job. Because you only have to do all those things.
Yeah. Do you think she likes her job?
Does
she like
I think
lying?
she likes the $175,000 a year she's making. That's what I think she likes. Because who wouldn't? You know? She's a single gal in Washington, D.C., probably has a pretty decent lifestyle. Somebody's buying her some really nice clothes. I don't know if that's on us, the taxpayer.
Oh, my gosh.
Man.
That's a great question, Pat. Who pays?
Who pays? Do we pay for that?
For KJP wardrobe.
Because she's wearing designer stuff daily. And as Stu has pointed this out several times, never the same thing twice. I think in the year and a half or whatever it's been that she's been doing this, she hasn't worn the same thing.
And she gets up there at the start of her press briefing sometimes as do you guys like my shirt? Do you like my outfit?
Mm-hmm.
Are you fishing for compliments from the press?
And the answer is yes.
For real?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, I don't see who pays for it, but you know we are.
Of course we are. There's no way she could, even at
everything.
$175,000 a year, you're not affording that kind of wardrobe. Former President Donald Trump.
The left-wing lunatics are trying.
Wait a sec. Not yet. Has put out a message because of the threat of COVID and the restrictions returning. So here's what he said.
Oh, okay.
The left-wing lunatics are trying very hard to bring back COVID lockdowns and mandates with all of their sudden fear-mongering about the new variants that are coming. Gee whiz, you know what else is coming? An election. They want to restart the COVID hysteria so they can justify more lockdowns, more censorship, more illegal drop boxes, more mail-in ballots, and trillions of dollars in payoffs to their political allies heading into the 2024 election. Does that sound familiar? These are bad people. These are sick people we're dealing with. But to every COVID tyrant who wants to take away our freedom, hear these words: we will not comply. So don't even think about it. We will not shut down our schools. We will not accept your lockdowns. We will not abide by your mask mandates. And we will not tolerate your vaccine mandates. They rigged the 2020 election, and now they're trying to do the same thing all over again by rigging the most important election in the history of our country, the 2024 election. Even if it means trying to bring back COVID. But they will fail because we will not let it happen. When I'm back in the White House, I will use every available authority to cut federal funding to any school, college, airline, or public transportation system that imposes a mask mandate or a vaccine mandate. Thank you very much.
Okay. That was solid.
Honestly, of all the Republican candidates and even all the Democrat presidents, I think the only one, I'm assuming here, that would ever try to take advantage of the COVID hysteria again is Joe Biden, right? I mean, even RFK has spoken out loudly on these lockdowns and their detrimental effect on society.
Yeah.
You got to get this guy Biden out of office. Just got to. I know that's a hot take.
So it is a hot
Let's
take.
get Biden out of
It
office.
is.
That's
It's very hot.
Anybody else saying that?
You're
Anybody
on
in this
fire.
building saying that?
I don't think so.
I don't think as an original thought.
I don't think
you got to
so.
dump Joe Biden.
Wow. That's bold. And it's nice that you're out on that limb.
I'm
But-
sticking my neck out for the
Okay.
company here.
Okay.
When I say we need a new president.
Hey, Bob Casey.
John Fetterman.
Neither of those guys.
No, really? Okay, so
Yeah,
you're not.
So I'm not quite that. See, I'm putting. Look, I'm hedging a little bit, aren't I?
You are.
Because I'm like, I don't want them
Yeah,
though.
you are. There's a guy on Twitter, Steven Voiceover, created a cool video called The Presidential Olympics that we want you to see. Check this out. This is fun.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for day one of the Presidential Olympics. And it's a lovely day here in Delaware. And the day one event, as always, is the Air Force One Stairway event. Straightforward, but has seen its share of adventures over the years. And we're just in time to catch the first attempt of Donald J. Trump representing the United States of America.
Okay.
And I'm told he's been taking this event very seriously. He's had a Stairmaster installed at Mar-a-Lago, and he's been on that several hours a day just perfecting his technique. Just going over some last-minute pointers here with his personal trainer and coach. And it's a confident salute and steady approach.
And
just
up
using
the
the
stairs he
standard
goes.
grip and pull technique that was popularized by Woodrow Wilson in the early 1700s. And will he attempt the turn and wave? He does. He doesn't disappoint, and it's a smooth delivery. And next up, Joseph Robinette Biden, of course, representing the United States of Ukraine. Also receiving some last-minute pointers from this coach.
And no salute.
And it's a confident salute with a light jog attempt, still with a grip and pull, but it seems to be doing the trick. No, I was about to say it seems to be doing the trick. It's gone. He's gone twice, and he's gone a third time. That we've never seen that before. Just reaching out to the other handrail and realizing his arms aren't long enough. Doing a little jog move at the end there. Will he go for the turn and wave? No, he's saluting. That's a solid salute to finish. I'm losing his balance there a little bit, just as he disappears into the plane. We're going to take a look at that from another angle.
Okay.
I've just been told apparently the contestants were warned by the Olympic Commission that attempting such a strenuous activity wearing masks might result in some lightheadedness. Maybe that's what happened here. Did he trip?
Nope.
We're not sure. He went 3 times.
Yep.
It's just embarrassing. It's so much work. I feel so sorry for Joe. He put so much effort into this. He's been carrying a retractable staircase with him everywhere he goes and doing a lot of practice. And it just didn't come together for him on the day. Really sad.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
really
Donald
is.
Trump's second attempt. People are saying it's already over. Trump just needs to have a solid ascent, and it's probably beyond Biden's reach. And Trump just going for the left-handed ascent there, showing off he's ambidextrous. First attempt, of course, was a right-handed ascent, going for the left-handed. Same grip and pull technique and a steady pace.
Will he
Not
turn,
even
though?
bothering to turn and wave. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to risk it. Doesn't need the points. And I think he knows it's already in the bag. And we're back for Joe Biden's second attempt. Some people saying he'd need to do a full sprint with somersault to get the points back. I think he knows it's beyond him now. He's taking it very steadily. He was grip and pulling, but he's just let go of the handrail. Is he trying to claw some? No, he's gone again. And this has been a disaster for Joe Biden. What a sad sight it is to see. Turns. Not even he's going for the wave, not the salute, but that is tragic. And you can see here the moment where he actually lets go of the handrail. Maybe he was trying to finish in style. We're already hearing from his team that they're complaining about the low light. Maybe that played a part. We just don't know, but we can all agree it's been a terrible, terrible day for Team Biden. They'll have to put this day behind them and prepare for tomorrow's event, day 2, which is walking off stage.
Oh, no.
We'll be covering that all day on the BBC. Don't forget to tune in.
Excellent work by Steven Voiceover, and you can find this over at Pat Unleashed on Twitter.
Really good. Love that. All right, let me tell you about real estate agents I trust, because these actually are real estate agents you can trust. They've got great marketing plans. They've been successful at what they do, and if they haven't been, they're not part of our network. And this is a service we provide to you for free. So we'll just get you in touch with the best realtor in your market. You take it from there, and they'll give you all the great advice you need to get your house sold. or to get the most house for your money if you're buying. And maybe you're doing both because you're relocating. There's a lot of that going on right now. People fleeing both California and New York like crazy. And when you do, you want to get great real estate advice. And these are the people who can give it to you. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray. Join the conversation. 888-900-3393. Pat Gray Unleashed will be right back.
Let's take a look at a few tweets here. Just to muck and fudge. Tweets, did Ms. Big Book of Everything say due vigilance?
Oh, no. Did she?
Probably. We missed it if she did, but probably.
There's only so much time in a day you can devote to KJP screw-ups.
Be okay with
that? Is something I'm not going to get into hypotheticals.
Hypotheticals. Okay. Oh, man. Edited for bias. Tweets, extra vetting for profiled terrorists. Are you seeking asylum? Are you a terrorist? No? Okay. Extra vetting complete.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
From Big Poppy, does Trump not realize he did the original COVID lockdowns? How does he get off saying he's against it now? Did he say that? Was he for the lockdowns in the beginning?
Oh, my goodness. That's breaking news.
I hadn't remembered that. Huh. I don't know. Mr. McCoffee tweets, is more on trivia returning next? Yeah, well, we need to have a talk about that. We're going to sit down and discuss that as a family. So we'll have a family council on that soon, but not right now. Meanwhile, some Floridians were taking advantage of the hurricane, just having some fun in it. I don't recommend this because the water is usually not appetizing. It's gross. It's got stuff in it that you don't want on you or in you. But here's some Floridians during one of the newscasts. Reporters, of course, standing in water, and they kind of boat by him, which is funny.
Okay.
Here's what happened.
All right, Sarah. So we're going to step away from the seriousness of this storm for just 1 second. You got to bear with me because this is something you don't see every day, guys. Guys, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Literally. This is a very new way to beat rush hour traffic on Bayshore Boulevard in Tampa.
Yeah, it's not something you can do every day.
Benny Johnson, a lot of people were sending me, we didn't send the video in, but Benny Johnson rescued a fish that was literally swimming in the street.
Oh, really?
And they heard you doing the role of Al Gore.
In the street. Yeah, right.
I want to know, have you ever seen the fish?
Swimming on a sunny day.
And he picked up the catfish or whatever it was, tossed it back into the bay.
Have you ever
seen the fish? That's what it is.
Seen the fish. Huh. I wonder if we even have that in this machine. That's sad if we don't. But, it could be recreated. But that's fun that they saw the fish swimming in the street on a sunny day.
Oh, real quick, the kid, the Gadsden Flag Patch kid?
Yes. There's some good news.
Yeah. He won. He's got it in his backpack.
The truth won out this time. How about that? That's nice. And, we got to recognize these victories when they come because they're few and far between. They happen about once every blue moon, which works out well. Because, there's a blue moon going on right now.
Right,
so,
outside.
So that's fun.
Cool.
Martha Stewart has faced some backlash after she posted on social media that she used an iceberg as a cocktail garnish while on a vacation cruise in Greenland. The lifestyle entrepreneur posted photographs of her vacation to Instagram showing her cheerfully drinking a cocktail with ice from an iceberg. How dare you chip off enough ice for a cocktail?
Bro.
Do you know how depleted these glaciers are? You just murdered the planet. Martha, congratulations.
With an ice pick.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
End of the first Zodiac cruise from Swanhilian Cruises into a very beautiful fjord on the east coast of Greenland, she wrote. We actually captured a small iceberg for our cocktails tonight.
Captured what they set a trap for it? They're like, let's lure the glacier into the trap.
Despite the Greenland ice sheet containing more than 2.9 million cubic kilometers of ice, nobody knows how much that is. Could be an inch worth of ice.
I can see.
Could be 20 million miles.
So
there's no way to tell.
Environmentalists may have good reason to be upset with
They might. She might have taken all the ice.
Taken the last of it.
Some critics on social media lambasted the 82-year-old for using that infinitesimal amount of ice for her cocktail drink. I generally love Martha and the excesses of her life because she's about beautiful gardens, homes, and food, but wealthy white people drinking their iceberg cocktails while the planet is in flames is a bit tone deaf.
Wow, okay, they're racist. Why have to point out her race in that tweet?
Yeah, why? Martha, the ice caps are melting. Don't put them in your drink, wrote another detractor.
Okay. Noted.
Okay. It's so stupid.
Cheers. I mean,
you could be mad at Martha Stewart for a lot of things. That ain't one of them.
Have you guys tried iceberg ice?
I have not tried iceberg ice.
It's pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Wait, hold on. That sounds like a scam. What are you
I went to Alaska, and there was a glacier, and then we went and then took some ice, put it in water.
My gosh, you've done the same thing that Martha Stewart has done?
It's a very popular thing to do when you go visit.
Murderer!
Yeah, don't let him speak. This is
murderer.
I can't even look at you.
So, when this planet finally breathes its last breath, you can thank Chris Cruz
and Martha Stewart.
Wow.
The two who put the final nail in.
I thought you were just a bad person for parking in handicapped places without one of them little hangy things.
It goes far beyond that.
It gets worse. The more you get to know me, it gets worse.
This guy is basically guilty of genocide. Basically.
Why do you
a genocidal maniac.
Why do you want to do that to Gaia, bro?
Yeah, why?
It was delicious.
Wow.
Did it taste any different than any other ice?
Absolutely not.
No, of course not. Yeah.
It's probably all toxic and stuff.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is because of all the stuff we're spewing. Right. All the garbage we're belching into the air and water. All right. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up in just a second.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
By the way, let me remind you, today is the last day at Kexi.com to get 15% off. Final day. Get 15% off your order at Kexi.com. It's also the last day for the raspberry lemonade cookies. Oh my gosh, those are some of the best we've ever had. The Hawaiian coconut and the Biscoff, also available for the last time today. We'll bring them back eventually, but they'll be gone for a while. So 15% off ends today. If you want the most delicious cookies in the world, go to Kexi.com, Keksi.com. There's apparently some trouble coming to the student loan borrowers on October 1st. Wow. Joe Consorti explains what's happening in this video.
So 45% of student loan borrowers expect to be late or unable to pay their student loans when payments resume on October 1st. Of course, federal student loan payments have been paused since 2020, which has caused the late payments to fall all the way from around 12 to 10% to basically 0% for the last 3 years. But of course, with payments slated to resume on October 1st, 45% of people who took on federal student loans expect to be late or unable to pay them, which will mean on October 1st, delinquent student loan payments will go from here all the way to here.
Jeez.
An all-time high.
Oh, no.
That's not good.
That's not good.
It's good analysis there.
That's not good. Now, that was pretty technical, but I think he's right. Jeez.
Okay.
I mean, this whole thing is so ridiculous and so stupid. And we shouldn't be in this situation to begin with. But predatory lenders, I guess.
Yes.
I guess people were forced into taking out massive student loans so they could go to college. I hate when that happens. You know, when the bank shows up at your house with a gun, what are you going to do?
And when are we going to get justice there?
Right.
Because, I mean, that's...
Right. Probably never.
That seems criminal.
Yeah.
When that's how you're doing business.
Yeah. Yep.
Show up armed.
Where they're either take out this $200,000 loan or I'm going to shoot you in the head. What are you going to do? Why, of course, you're going to get the student loan. When they say you must go to one of the most expensive colleges in the country, or I'm going to shoot you dead right now on the spot. Well, you're going to probably go to one of the most expensive schools in the country, right? I know I would, if that's the choice.
Wow.
Yeah, these predatory lenders, terrible.
Yeah.
Should have done something about them a long time
Should have. So while we were talking about showing up at your house with guns, this is how my brain operates. I heard a fact recently, and I just Googled it to make sure that I had heard it correctly. And here's the headline on the centersquare.com. Armed and beltway-ish, more federal bureaucrats than U.S. Marines authorized to pack heat. That's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
So you got more federal... And then the same story, scroll down here, and it says, my gosh, and we've talked about this to one degree or another. Health and Human Services has 1,300 guns, including 1 shotgun, 5 submachine guns, and 189 automatic firearms. NASA has its own fully outfitted SWAT team. What the hell? I don't understand this.
Who does?
NASA. What?
NASA has a SWAT team.
What is that? Is that if they had to show up and get E.T. out of Elliot's home? What is that?
Yes, duh. Do you remember E.T. and the feds showing up with their guns that Spielberg then was offended by and took the guns out and gave him walkie-talkies? Mm-hmm. And then he took the walkie-talkies out of their hand and gave them back guns.
Yeah, he regretted that move.
Yes, he did. But that's why NASA needs the guns and the weaponry.
So apparently, the moral of the story is
scary aliens.
Is scary. No, it's
don't hide them in your closet under the stuffed animals. Don't do it.
Okay, that's one of the morals of the story. The other one is we got way too many armed federal agents and way too many armed predatory lenders.
Yes. Okay. I mean, we could take that from this. Sure. Why not?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man. But in California, you'll be happy to know that whatever is happening the rest of the country, it's worse in California. So we got that going for us.
Yeah, all right. It's not as bad in your town as it is in California.
Yeah, so unless you live in California,
look at this.
Then things aren't that great.
They just walk right out of there, these thieves. Not even trying to hide their faces.
No, they don't anymore.
And they're just...
Why would you?
Yep.
Why would you?
Yep,
you know nothing's going to be done about it. Oh, my gosh, man.
I'm taking the whole jewelry department with me.
Wow. And there's some more. Okay.
I mean, this is organized crime. I mean, does anybody...
Jeez.
That's what's happening here.
Yep.
And then that stuff ends up on eBay, and then we unwittingly buy it, and there you go.
Mm-hmm. We have something going on at Home Depot, too. Another thief there.
This guy was being recorded, and he didn't like it, so he fought back.
Okay.
Back up.
There's your thief right there. Oh, catch that? He sprayed him with mace.
Oh, jeez.
Pepper spray there.
Wow.
Watch it in slow motion here. Kind of sly how he did it, too.
Yeah, it is.
Look at this.
Oh, right.
We got a good look at your face.
So he was ready.
Yeah.
Jeez, what a douchebag. That's amazing.
Will justice be served?
No. Well, maybe on him. He's white, so it's possible we could go after him.
Just spitting facts, Pat.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So the white guy we can go after.
We can go after the white guy.
Him.
Yeah.
Yep. That douchebag needs to be brought to justice. Some don't, but he does.
He does.
He needs to be. And part of the problem is that the biggest existential threat we face is from white supremacy. And since he's white and he thinks he can steal things, obviously he's one of them.
Somebody had to say it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just did.
And you just did.
So there you go.
Oh, boy.
All right, just to break up the madness, Keith has a cute little video.
Oh, yes!
Little animal video.
Oh, we're going to do this? Okay, cool. So
dogs,
the family photo.
Cats.
It's time to pose for the family photo, and the cat's not cooperating. So here's what happens.
Okay.
You gotta come out here. Let's go. Smile. There. All right, smile, yo. That's cute, right? Look at that. Oh, now, lay down. Lay down. She's saying lay down. Yeah, there you go.
Why is the person taking the shot speaking gibberish, though? That's what we need to get to the bottom of.
Wait. And why is the dog on the left? I mean, I contend the dog on the left is dumber than the cat. Because at least...
Yeah, it's not doing it.
Right. The
It's
two
like,
dogs
no.
and the cat lay down.
No.
He's just like...
That's your John Fetterman dog. No. No.
That's that dog's name, Fetterman.
Look at this.
Aww.
Isn't that adorable? So they obviously consider the cat part of the family. Maybe the cat identifies as a dog. Is that what's going on
I
there?
think the fact that they consider the cat part of the family, I thought you might say that's the problem.
Oh, that is a problem, but I don't know how the cat identifies.
That was a feel good video,
That was a
right?
feel
That was a good
video. Yes,
fun,
it was fun.
Break up the death and destruction video.
Exactly.
Thank you guys for sending them to me at Keith Malinak on Twitter.
And here's an interesting. Speaking of pets, here's a little fact you probably hadn't heard. Between last year and this year, veterinary care prices for your pets have risen an incredible 33%.
Oh, boy.
I mean, that's insane. And it was expensive to begin with. And so now another 33%. It also means that if you have an emergency with your pet, you could be on the hook for a lot of money quickly.
Yeah.
That's why Embrace Pet Insurance exists, to give you peace of mind when it comes to your pet's health. Don't let those rising prices stand between you and taking the best care of your pet. With Embrace Pet Insurance, you can visit any vet or emergency clinic. And if you have multiple pets, you can get a 10% multi-pet discount, too.
Oh, cool.
They have 24/7 helplines and optional wellness rewards programs also to help ensure you prioritize preventative care for your pets. It's a wave of the future. Don't wait for the unexpected to happen. Join the massive community of pet owners who trust Embrace Pet Insurance to protect their pet. Head to embracepetinsurance.com/unleashed and sign up for pet insurance today. Make sure you go to Embrace, EMBRACE, embracepetinsurance.com/unleashed, or else they won't know that I sent you.
That gray is unleashed.
Indeed. The big controversy over the Oliver Anthony, or is it Anthony Oliver?
Oliver Anthony.
Oliver Anthony. And his song. And now he's got another song that's, I think, also in the top 5, or it went to number 1 as well. And the left is just going nuts over this guy and the fact that people like him. And he has said that his politics are right down the middle. That's what he said. I don't know if that's true, but he did chastise Republicans for weaponizing his song.
Yeah, well, because, I mean, that's how they opened up the Fox debate, was playing part of his song and then having the candidates
and then the
respond.
question was kind of about that, right?
Yeah, so, right. He just wants us to know that his song isn't about Joe Biden. It's about the men on that stage, the Republican debate. I mean, it's absolutely for everyone inside the Beltway. So, I mean, I agree with that. But he made a really long video that kind of, I don't know. Whatever.
Did it take the edge off the fun? I didn't
see
the.
It did, and then
really?
he tried to come back, and
no, really?
Whatever. It's a good song.
So he kind of ruined it.
Nah.
What did he say? What did he say in the really long video?
I can't remember. What did he say, Chris? He was sitting in his truck, and he said, I can't remember. I didn't know we were going to talk about this. I would have watched it again. But
maybe we should play it tomorrow.
Kind of lost me a little bit, but then he tried to bring it back, and then
with a separate video.
Yeah, what was it? And then he went on Joe Rogan. I haven't heard that, but Yeah, Jeffy really stays on top of all the Oliver Anthony news, so we'll ask him tomorrow.
Yeah, I haven't followed that closely, but I've listened to the song a few times. It's good.
Yeah,
it's
catchy.
good. And
any song that mixes in the phrase "fudge rounds" is catchy. is going to be a winner.
And I love how ABC was bludgeoning him with that for being racist. Wait a minute, he doesn't differentiate color in the song at all. He doesn't mention it. He doesn't talk about race. It's about welfare cheats, not about color of skin. So ABC went on this whole rant about how racist he is.
Oh my gosh.
Which actually shows how racist they are, because he didn't say it was about black people. He didn't say that.
That's the same thing with the left going after Jason Aldean's Try That in a Small Town.
Right.
If you're reading race into this, that's a you problem.
It's
My
sure
gosh,
is.
Stop it.
Sure is.
Whatever.
Yeah. It's just interesting, though, because on the way in this morning, I was listening to Revolution by the Beatles. There's a song that people freaked out over for the wrong reasons. First of all, radio stations started to ban it because they didn't understand it. They didn't listen to the stinking lyrics. But, I mean, that was 1968 when, there were Black Panthers, the SDA radicals, the Social Democrats of America, and the Weather Underground. Remember them? Who had been planning to kill 25 million Americans if necessary after they took over. So into that environment, John Lennon wrote Revolution. This was a guy who just a few years later basically put the Communist Manifesto to music.
He was all over
with
the
Imagine.
map. Yeah.
I mean, and then in Revolution, he's writing things like, you say you'll change the Constitution. Well, we all want to change your head. You tell me it's the institution. Well, you better free your mind instead. But if you go carrying pictures of Chairman Mao, you ain't going to make it with anyone anyhow. So John Lennon, this huge liberal counterculture guy, is pro-Constitution and anti-Chairman Mao? And then he added the positive lyric, and it's going to be all right. He tried to tell the revolutionaries at the time, this is going to work out. We don't need to destroy things. We don't need to be violent. We don't need to change the Constitution. That's how, the country, as divided as it was in 1968, I don't think was anywhere near as divided as we are today. Because you write an innocuous song like Oliver Anthony did. It's not innocuous completely, but it's not about politics. It's really not. And we can't even agree on that. The left has to come down on this guy as some kind of right-wing hick who doesn't know what he's talking about and is a racist. They've got to spin everything now into racism. And wasn't the racial situation in 1968 just a tad worse than it is today? It's amazing. It's amazing where we are and how we got here. And it's almost inconceivable that we can be at this point.
Yeah.
After we've had a black president.
Yep. This is a meme that I saw just a couple of weeks ago. And this kind of lays out how you know if it's racism. I don't know if we're able to get this, and if not, I can just read it here. But if a white person moves out, it's white flight. That's racism. So if a white person moves in, that's gentrification. That's
so you can't,
racism.
I think what we've identified here is you can't move in and you can't move out.
Correct.
Okay.
Because both of those would be considered racist. Now, if you're a white person and you see color.
Yeah,
that's clearly racism.
Clearly racism.
Now, if you're a white person
and you don't see color,
then you're ignoring racism, and that's racism. Okay. Now, if you're a white person and you don't partake in a particular culture, that's non-inclusive.
And that's racist.
Thank you, Pat.
It's racism.
Okay, one last example here.
It's racist racism.
And I hope you're taking notes at home because it's very important, folks.
Okay.
If a white person engages in culture, all right?
Okay, if you engage in culture.
That's cultural appropriation. And therefore.
Racism.
Thank you, Pat. Great.
You're a racist.
Okay.
Racer. No, you're not a racer.
No, you missed. You didn't get any of the lesson.
A racist racism person.
I laid it out for you, and I really hope that you.
No, it's had a profound impact on me.
We will tweet this out at Pat Unleashed.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And it's what we're up against.
And it's a fact.
It's really, really true. So congratulations, America. We're in a really good spot right now.
Aren't we, though? Mm-hmm. I can feel it, too.
No, also Canada has warned LGBTQ plus travelers to be wary of local laws and policies in some U.S. states in an update to its international travel advisory.
LGBTQ2 plus.
Thank you, Turdo. Nicely done.
Nicely done. He's good.
He said some states have enacted laws and policies that may affect 2SLGBTQI plus persons.
Right. LGBTQ2 plus.
The Canadian government said, referring to people who identify as two-spirit, lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, questioning, intersex, and more. An estimated 1 million people in Canada identify as a member of that community. Wow, really? Canada is pretty small population-wise. How many people live in? It's less than California, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really? Let's see
I
here.
think so.
California. Let's see. 38 million in Canada.
Okay. Yep. And there should be 40 million-ish in California, except they've lost some residents.
39 in California. Yeah.
All right. Oh. So there you go. That's interesting. The advisory neither names any state, nor does it explicitly outline which laws are considered to be threats, of course, because there are no laws that are threats. They're trying to protect children in many of these cases, but there's no threat against LGBTQIA2 plus people.
LGBTQ2 plus.
Okay.
You got it?
Cool. However, a Global Affairs Canada spokesperson pointed CBS to laws passed in the U.S. this year that restrict drag shows. Yeah, children at drag shows. Children! Limit gender-affirming care in children! And block trans youth's participation in sporting events. Yes, they were protecting women against men competing against them. This thing. Don't even get me started. Well, it's too late. You already got me started.
So congratulations.
It's too late.
I'm at the Canadian travel
advisory area
website
place.
here.
Mm-hmm.
So congratulations. The United States and Iran both have warnings.
Oh, okay. All right, good.
I was hoping to find that they didn't have anything on Iran, but they do. But neat that Canada are brothers to the north.
Yeah, that's
look
great.
at us the same way they look at Iran as far as travel advisories for.
Oh my God!
As they put on their website, do not press that button again. 2S LGBTQI plus travelers.
LGBTQ2 plus.
That.
Oh man. Ohio State University College of Medicine students now are required to read a slew of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Gotta love it.
Plus anti-racism literature. Really? Including an opinion piece that recommends a white colleague not ask a black colleague how they're doing.
Uh-oh.
So if you run across a black person, don't ask them how they're doing.
Ask them how they're doing. Okay.
This informs the reader of things to be mindful of with not only black friends, but also black colleagues in the workplace. One recommendation is to stop asking, hey, how are you doing? The reason is, of course, I mean, obviously, the situation for black people, again, this shows the racist person here. It's not the person that says, how you doing? It's the person that thinks that's a problem, because I guess all black people and all people of color experience the same thing every single day, and that, of course, is racist racism.
Wow.
Man.
So in other words, the takeaway is if you have a black colleague or friend or someone just in a store that you just cross paths with, don't. You're going to trigger them.
Don't do it.
If you ask them how they're doing.
Don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, they'll be offended by that.
Right.
What do you mean, how am I doing? Do you know I face racism every day?
Every day.
What do you mean, how am I doing? You know how I'm doing. Poorly, okay? I can't get out of it because I've got no options. I can go nowhere. I can do nothing. I can't make any money, and I don't have a driver's license. Do you know how hard that is? I can't even vote because I don't have a driver's license, and I don't know where to get one. I don't know where the DMV is. So
you're not having a good day then?
No.
I see.
But don't ask me.
Too late now.
Because you're showing your racism. And your hatred.
What?
Your hate-mongering hatred.
It was like a throwaway line. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
You should be, because obviously I and everyone like me are not doing well. Okay? And you can just assume that.
Well, I don't want to assume. It makes an ass out of you and me. What I heard.
Yeah, I've heard that too. That's weird. That's weird. But don't assume in this case.
Hold on. Genius idea here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you, Pat Gray, clearly a white guy, start identifying as a black person, and then people won't ask you how you're doing.
I like it. Yes.
Okay, so everybody, don't be asking Pat how he's doing, or you're a racist.
How are you doing so far? Mm-hmm. How's your day going so far? Yeah, don't ask me that, because I and all my people, all right, are not doing well.
Not doing well.
Get off me.
I'm sorry for triggering you. I really, trust me, I'm sorry I ever even asked you how your day was going.
Well, you should be, because that's a tragically racist question to ask someone.
I guess so.
Yeah. All right, well, we've got overtime coming up, and we'll see you back here to finish off the week. Tomorrow, it's going to be a college football weekend. Week 1 in college football. Maybe we might mention it tomorrow. I'm not sure.
Big Red.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.